back for another episode of the Full Fletch Podcast with your boys, Justin Mulvaney and Brooks Benson. Brooks,
What
say what's
up?
up.
What up,
There he is.
everybody? I am currently driving in my new truck.
New truck. Brooks, tell us a little bit about the new truck.
So, last Tuesday, I finally picked one up. It was a 2016 Ford F-150. It was very well taken care of. Colorado truck. And I got it for about $20K. So, I can't complain.
Yeah, good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Got him a good deal. Brooks has a history of blue Fords or
I
blue
do.
trucks in general.
Just blue truck, because I've had 4 trucks total. So, I guess this is my 5th, technically. So yeah, I guess, no, not technically. This is my 5th truck. I started off with a blue 2011 blue Ford. And then after driving that for a while, beating it to the brim, it was the 3.5 EcoBoost. By the way, don't get the 3.5 if you get the F-150. Get the 2.7 or the 5.0. I'll explain later. Anyways, and then I went to a blue Ram, 1500 2015 with the Eco Diesel, mostly for the gas mileage. Quickly realized how big of a piece of junk the Eco Diesel is, so I got rid of it, and I got back into another blue F-150, because of course, right? It was a 2014 this time with the 3.5. Again, I had issues with the 3.5. I should have just gone 5.0, but I didn't. So I ended up just buying my buddy CJ's old 2007 Avalanche with the 5.3 V8 in it. Enjoyed driving that for a while. And then needed to size down because I was going from Larkspur, Denver, and Parker a lot for my job. So I got a Civic. Here, hold on. I'm getting Chipotle right now. This is live feed, guys. Live Chipotle getting. Brooks?
Have a good night.
You too, thank you. Live Chipotle. You boys gotta eat, you know?
Goodness gracious.
I know. So, anyways, so yeah, I had the Avalanche for a little bit. Then I had to get a Honda Civic mostly for the gas mileage, and it was great on gas. I averaged like 38 to the gallon. Can't complain there. It was a little hatchback. It was a 2017. It was a fun little car to drive. Had a little turbo in it, so that was cool. And then obviously I got hit by the truck, and that totaled that car. So I was like, you know what? It's time to get back into a truck. And the last couple weeks, like 3 weeks, I would say, before, I guess 2, I got a big Yui. Oh, yeah. That, turning radius, baby. So, for, I want to say 2-3 weeks, I was really searching hard for a truck. Went and test drove a lot, kind of got annoyed with salesmen. They wouldn't give me the deal I was looking for. I was looking at another 2017 F-150 with the 2.7 motor, or engine, sorry, you car guys. I know motor's electric, don't give me crap. Engine's gas. So, Tanner, calm down. They were trying to get me in this truck, which was only $3,000 more than I paid for this one. And they were trying to get me in this ridiculous, like, 84 months deal. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. And they're like, that's the best we can do. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm out of here. And so I walked away and then ended up finding this one, which was, guess what? Another blue F-150. Oh, the Avalanche was white. Sorry, the Avalanche was white. So, forgot to mention that. But yeah, another blue F-150. Somehow, some way, blue trucks follow me. It just happened to work out that way. So, yep, I'm in a 2016 F-150. It's the XLT. version, so it's not like all the bells and whistles. It's got heated seats though, which is nice. It's the 2.7 liter V6, which is the better of the V6s. Um, and if people want to dive into that, they can just message me. I'm not going to really explain it. It's just a lot better than the 3.5. Completely different engine. Not even close to the 3.5. That's why I got it. And it gets good on gas. So,
There you go.
there we go.
There's a little vehicle rundown.
But
Yeah,
I love it.
the vehicle buying process can always be a hassle.
Really is, man. Like, these salesmen just got no. I mean, they don't care at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
they just want your money, and that's it. Like, I'll give you the short version of how I got this truck. So this truck was originally, was originally at Castle Rock Ford, and I was actually wanting to get it, and I texted my salesman saying, "Hey, I want to look at this 2016. It is in my price range. I want to get it." Okay, sounds good. This was a Sunday. The next day, he texts me, "Oh, sorry, it's sold." Okay, no worries. I didn't put a hold on it or anything, so it's like, okay, whatever. So it's sold at like Saturday or something like that. Well, turns out they sold it to a different dealership, just up in Denver, called Springs Automotive, and I somehow found it. And so I went to Springs Automotive and bought it at Springs Automotive. And I remember the salesman at Ford. He probably won't listen to this. I really don't care if he does or not. He texts me and says, blah, blah, blah. Are you still looking for a truck? I am looking really hard for the right truck for you. Whatever sales pitch they give you, that's just that every salesman gives over text. And I sent him a picture of the blue truck, and I said, I just bought the same blue truck I was interested in the beginning, but from Springs Automotive. Could have been your sale. Sorry.
Ooh, brutal.
Yeah, I kind of it's kind of a dig, and I was like, look, man, like, I wanted this one, but you guys decided to sell it to a freaking dealership, but I found it anyway, so it just worked out.
Yeah, dang, tough.
And I mean, hey, people can say that's kind of a dick thing to say. I mean, I wanted the truck.
And he got it. He ended up getting it.
So,
yeah, my process on buying my truck a year and a half ago, whatever it was much simpler. I walked in, well, I found it online. I called the girl. I was like, "Can I come drive it?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, cool." I'm right down the road. I was looking at other vehicles. All right, let's hop in. Let's drive it. What do you think? I like it. What's our financing look like? All right. It's not too big, not too long. Fits my price range. Let's do it. Sign. Let's go. Sweet. Out of here.
Nice.
Yeah. I was.
How long did it take you?
Oh, few hours.
Yeah, about usual.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy, but yeah. So, well, right on. We're glad that Brooks has a vehicle back.
We got a vehicle and it's a truck, and it's going to be great for hunting.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it has the FX4 package, so I get the off-road goodies.
Ooh, off-road goodies.
Which is all it is off-road shocks. I think they're Bilsteins. I gotta look again. I can't remember. Skid plate and rear locking differential, which is kind of nice. So
that is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Skid plates were huge. That's one thing I was really wanting was the FX4 package, so I could get the skid plates.
There you go.
So yeah.
Brooks also has another life update.
Another life update, yeah. Getting a truck on Tuesday, and then I got engaged this past Sunday. How about
Bingo.
that? She said yes.
She said yes.
Somehow.
Well,
but
you guys have been together long enough. She knows all the dirty secrets about Brooks, so she knows what she's getting into.
Oh yeah. We've been together for 4 years, so it was about time. Um, yep, did it up in Breckenridge on Sunday. Today is Wednesday the 15th, so Sunday the 12th. Yep, went down on one knee, blah, 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 whole spiel, whatever. And then she was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Was she expecting it to be right then?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's a little funny backstory on it. She told me only thing she requested was to, like, let her know when to get her nails done and a photographer. It doesn't have to be, like, a professional. It could just be someone with a phone. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, I couldn't find a photographer. And anyone who would be willing to go up. My brother, he was celebrating his wife's birthday up in Keystone. I mean, I know it's right there from Breck, but I didn't want to interrupt them. Because they were snowboarding and skiing and doing their thing. I didn't want to interrupt them. I'm like, you guys do your thing. And so so on Saturday, Michael Jurgot, which we will have as a guest on here at some point. Justin coached with Michael. I played with Michael. And we went to his girlfriend's birthday party. It was like a really small, like, gathering. And his girlfriend literally said, I said to Chelsea, I want you to come over and celebrate my birthday with me. Bring Brooks for Mike. And I was like, cool. And Mike's like, cool. Sounds good. And so we were going to go fishing, but the Aurora Reservoir got a little bit too frozen. We didn't have our ice fishing stuff. So we're like, we got to bang that. So Mike's girlfriend texted him and goes, I don't think Brooks has a photographer for tomorrow. I think he's going to propose. And he goes, so you have no photographer? And apparently Mike is really good at, like, photography, according to his girlfriend. And, I mean, I see it with the posts they post, so I'm like, okay. Mike goes, do you want me to take it for you? I'm like, no, you don't have to. I was like, he goes, no, I'm going to take it for you. Tell me where I need to be. So him and his girlfriend got there before Chelsea and I and took the photos, and yeah, it worked out. So then we all went to Mi Casa, the Mexican restaurant in Breck, after to celebrate. So it was good.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. I had the surprise down when I proposed to Caitlin. I had the surprise down all the way to like the last couple details. And same thing,
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to pay for a photographer. I'm cheap. And so I was like, I don't know what to do. So we had like mutual friends of friends, I guess, that were like, sure, I guess we'll come take these pictures for you. So like they met us wherever, and Caitlin had met them before, and so we like ran into them, but I didn't know what they looked like, these two girls that I had never met before, and I didn't even bother to
Okay.
be like, "Oh, hey, let me see what you guys look like so that when I find you guys, like we can do the whole thing, whatever."
Yep.
Didn't bother to do that, and we had ran into them, and I didn't know it was them until
Uh-huh.
like later on. We like walked by each other, and like I texted them. I was like, "Wait, was that you guys?" And it was like they're like, yeah." I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Whoops.
So we like circled back, and like I had a spot kind of picked out, and so then we like went back and like, "Oh hey guys," and like at this point, when Caitlin first saw them like earlier in the day, I guess it was at this like
Uh-huh.
botanical garden. She had seen them and was like, "Okay, something's up." And
Yeah.
then so she had a pretty good clue leading up to it, and then she's like, okay, it's about to happen. Yeah, I didn't tell her to get her nails done. Her friend couldn't find a good way to that I set this all up through and with. She didn't
Uh-huh.
have a good reason to be like, oh, maybe you should get your nails done. It was just
Right.
like, oh no, like because I went up to Wichita. I was living in Louisiana, and she was in Western Kansas, and it was like, okay, let's meet up in Wichita. Blah blah blah. She actually carried the ring from Garden City to Wichita for me, because I had it delivered to my house in Garden, and
Uh-huh.
she got it. The guys that were living at my house put the ring in a golf bag. I was like, oh, I need my golf clubs because we're gonna go golfing. We didn't really golf that much,
Nice.
and so it was just like, okay, that's just a way for her to like smuggle it to me without her knowing, and so
Right.
that was the story there.
Nice. Oh, what the heck just
Uh-oh,
happened?
you
I'm
disappeared
back.
on me.
Sorry.
There he is.
I hit a bump and my
Are you
phone
still
went
there?
berserk. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. Cool.
Okay.
But yeah, so anyways, Brooks is officially off the market. Uh
Off
that's
the
that. That's the
market.
update.
Sorry, ladies. Tough shit.
Yeah,
Off the market.
all the ladies that listen to Full Fletch Podcast, hands off.
It's over for you. Well, I mean, it's
Yep.
been over for 4 years, but yeah.
Yeah. Officially
Officially.
put a stamp on
So,
it. So,
so yeah, you and Caitlin will get an invite, obviously.
oh boy.
And so will
Exciting
Tanner.
times.
Yes, and so will Tanner. And
If he's lucky.
if he's lucky. And his girlfriend, of course. So,
There you go.
there we
We're
go.
excited. Looking forward to it
Full,
already.
it's going to
Don't
be a
even know when or where.
full-fledged podcast meetup. We're going to,
That is the wedding, is one whole podcast episode.
yep, that's it.
Oh man. She would be pissed.
Oh, yeah, 100% she'd be pissed.
All right. Well, Brooks, we had a plan of something we were going to talk about, but we had to get those big things out of the way. Those are big life events for Brooks. He got a truck
Yes.
finally after like a month. He got engaged finally after like 3 months of trying to get it done.
Yep.
And so finally got her done.
Yep.
But
Shout out to real quick, shout out to my boy Alex who made the ring. You're the man.
yeah, shout out
So,
Alex.
I don't think he'll listen to this, but shout out.
Yeah, he gets a shout out. Free
Yep.
shout out.
Free shout
So,
out.
anyways, I guess the topic that we were gonna get into a little bit is um, gun safes and lock boxes and things of that sort. We had a couple episodes back. I think it might have been the last time. Uh, it was just Brooks and I. We had talked about everyday carry, pistols, ARs, shotguns, things like that, home defense, self defense, things like that. So, kind of backtracking a little bit, I think I had mentioned it in that one. If not, I'll mention it for sure here. But, you know, in my learning process and process of, I don't own any pistols or ARs, anything like that. In my process of going about all that, you know, my initial instinct is okay, I want one, but what is like I'm pretty safety minded, I would like to say.
Yeah.
And especially like my wife, she has, she's not as familiar with firearms and stuff like that, and so she's a little bit more weary of some of those things, and so it's like, okay, let's be like as safe as we can and make sure we're all on the same page of like this is a very safe thing. Uh, you know, we're wanting to have kids one day, one way or another, however we go about that. And so having kids in the house, you know, firearm safety with kids is a whole nother thing. And so, having a gun safe and a lockbox is like really important to
Very.
us. And so, it's starting to look and a couple things. You know, the big one is a gun safe because you can put all of your firearms into it,
Mm-hmm.
shotguns, ARs, pistols. Then on top of that, your special documents, your birth certificates, social security cards, um, all those fancy things, or not fancy things, special things that, it's a big hassle to get copies of. All right, we had to take a quick break in the action. Brooks got home and things went haywire on the recording
Yeah,
side. So,
it said it changed my since it changed my audio, it completely shut the recording off and started a new one. I'm like, whoops, my bad. I didn't know that was gonna do that.
yeah, it's all good. We can splice it together. It'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, so we are talking safes and lock boxes, things like that. I think the first thing, like I was saying, is a gun safe. And for what you kind of have to have some foresight looking at it, because you can get like a really small safe and just be like, okay, I really want, like, all I'm gonna get is a pistol and some ammo and stuff like that, and you can have one that's basically like, you can take the size of like your standard laptop, and that's basically, depth, height, width, like, make it into a box and make it fireproof. That's basically the size of these boxes, or like a safe that you would see like in a hotel room.
Right.
you know you have those, but then it's like, okay, you got to have some foresight looking forward. Are you going to ever want a rifle? Are you going to get a rifle? Are you going to get a shotgun? Long gun, I guess is what you could call it. Because if you are, then okay, yeah, you can get the one safe for now and then upgrade later, or okay, buy once, cry once, find something that's a bigger one. It might be a little bit of a hassle to move it and stuff like that,
Mm,
because if you're not in your final living situation and you're going to move around, you got to move the safe, and those can get a little heavy and hard to move sometimes, I guess. But it's going to be worth it because you're going to buy something that is going to probably last forever.
yep.
And especially those big ones, a 22 gun safe. Granted, you're not going to actually fit 22 firearms in there. Long guns, they'll say 22, but that's usually without any scopes or extra attachments, things like that. So, if you have a couple rifles, a couple shotguns, and some pistols, that's typically all that's really going to fit in there when you're looking at things that have scopes and other attachments and stuff like that. And then there's plenty of other storage in those big ones, like I was saying, for like birth certificates and social security cards, and if you want to keep some emergency cash kind of tucked away, keep it in your safe.
Hmm.
A lot of these safes that within a certain price range, which you can get as fancy as you want to get with them on price range. Like, you can spend multiple thousands of dollars on like a really
Yep.
big, strong safe, and you can do that, or a few $100s. A lot of these safes these days, once you get past like a couple $100 worth, like, these things are like ultra hot fireproof for like 45 minutes, which is that's when it's like on, like the heat is on it, the safe, not just like,
Mm,
oh, if say your house burns down,
right.
God forbid, like that safe is like in that maximum heat for that amount of time before it starts to have any failures, which that doesn't mean it's always going to fail and just melt at that time point.
Mm,
You know, Typically, I guess they say like after a certain point, and I'm no firefighter or anything, no fire expert, but you know, a fire probably isn't going to last more than that 45 minutes. And if it's right by the source of the fire, then maybe it will be in there for close to that duration. But, you know,
yeah.
finding a safe where it's like it can be ultra hot for ultra long, like if you want to talk about keeping your things safe and secure, and they're fireproof, waterproof, debris proof, like ultimate safety spot for things that are very important in your life,
Hmm.
it's totally worth it.
Right.
And so
Agreed.
I think we had mentioned it. Do you have a safe yet?
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
You have a pretty decent one?
Yeah, it's a decent one. It's nothing crazy, but it does the
Yeah.
job.
What size is yours roughly? 18 gun, 10 gun?
I think it's like a 10 gun because I only have a few anyway. So,
Yeah. It's like maybe shoulder width or
yeah,
smaller. Yeah.
maybe.
And
But
about
it's
up
got
to like your chin
yeah,
tall.
it's got some storage for ammo and everything, which is nice. But yeah, that's what I have right now. I'd love to you're kind of showing one. It's called what was it called again?
Stop box.
The stop box. I would definitely like to get that one for like just to have like my pistol next to me, and just have it secure next to me that way. And then you're the or me, obviously, or you, whoever owns that stop box has the code for it, which is pretty cool, and just flip it open real quick
Yeah.
in case something happens.
Yeah, so stop box. It's not a safe, it's not fireproof. Like it's basically just like a hard plastic box, but it has like a locking mechanism in it, and it's got, I don't know, I'll try to get a way to like show a picture of what the, or maybe a clip like as I'm talking, show like a little audio or video clip of the stop box and how it's used. Uh, but yeah, it's not fireproof. It's not. I don't think it's waterproof, anything like that.
Hmm.
But it is like a lock box where, like as Brooks was saying, it's got like a combination to it. So it's got these four
Hmm.
buttons up top and one button on the side where you and maybe like one or two other people know which buttons to press and in what order, whatever it is, like however it actually works. But like there's multiple parts to actually unlocking it, so it's very child safe.
Yeah.
Again, unless your child knows the combination and the ways to press it, because you have to like press it down to compress it and press the buttons up top and press the buttons on the side, or the one button on the side, in order for it to pop open. But you can open it in like less than a second,
Hmm.
but it won't open unless you do all the right things in the right order.
Right.
If you got like a young kid who, say like they're even 7, 8 years old and they kind of have some cognitive ability, they're fairly smart. Unless they know the exact combination, like and you've taught them how to do it, they're not
Hmm.
going to get into it. Like there's so many different steps to it that they would have to be really, really lucky, or they're just never going to get into it. So it's a
Right.
very safe option, and it's like the size of like a folder, basically. Like your gun, maybe even smaller. So it's just barely big enough for like one pistol, a magazine, and maybe like there's some pictures I'm looking at on their website right now of like a flashlight or something like that. Just some like maybe everyday carry type stuff,
Right.
extra supplies. Like it's basically the size of like a big clipboard, like a thick clipboard. And so, um, you can keep it in your truck, you can keep it by your bedside. So it's something that's more safe than just keeping it in your nightstand where, anybody can go and open the drawer. Oh, look, there's daddy's gun. Pop it out.
Right.
Super dangerous. I would never, like, for me, it's either going to be in a safe or it's going to be in a lockbox when we're
Yep.
at home.
100%.
You know, I hope I'm never too lazy to be like, oh, yeah, it's okay. It's probably out of reach of the kid or whoever. Like, no, it's got to go where it's got to
Right.
go.
Next thing you know,
But
that kid's gonna climb up on whatever it is,
yeah,
grab it, actually discharge. Then you got a whole other situation on your hands.
yeah. So, for me, it's like safety first in all of this process that I'm starting to put myself through of the gun buying process and things like that. Yeah, it's great to look at what guns you want and things like that, but like, got to have a safe place to put them, So you're not just gonna be like, oh yeah, like even right now, I've got my one shotgun and I don't have like a safe for it.
Uh-huh.
So it's not great that I don't have a safe, but you know, that's on the list of like, hey, I want to we want to get one because we want to put all of our documents in it and stuff like that. And then I want to put my shotgun and whatever new firearms I acquire,
Hmm.
get those put in there. But for me, it's like safety first. Where is it going to go? How is it going to be stored? How am I
Right.
going to access it? How am I going to have access to it safely? How am I going to restrict access to people I don't want to have access to it safely, but still be able to, for me to get to it quickly, especially at home. And like I said, you can have it in your vehicle. Like I believe it should fit like in your glove box, in your center console, something like that. And so I've seen lots of people, they carry in their vehicles, but it's kind of like open carry in their vehicle. And so
Hmm.
part of that can be a little bit sketchy too, because, a misfire, or accidental discharge.
I've seen some like holsters for vehicles, and they expose the trigger. There's plenty of holsters out there you can get for your vehicle where the trigger is not exposed.
Yeah.
I think that's the one you have to get. At least there's not one, there's multiple obviously out there, but that's the type you should get.
Yeah.
Is one that will hide the trigger. That way, God forbid something happens, you're not at least pulling on the trigger.
Yeah. Well, you never know. You just turn the wrong way and you got something caught somewhere, and
Yep.
next thing you know, you're blowing a hole through your leg or something.
Right, and you do not want that. Colorado actually just changed the law about firearms in your car. That they have to, now it's pretty much California. They have to be locked away.
Mm.
You can't even have them in your center console. I mean, you can. They just have to be locked away.
Mm. So like this Stop Fox.
Essentially, yeah.
And that's without knowing like the rules and regulations,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I got to look at the exact rules on it, but if I'm being honest, ETF don't come after me. But I don't really think many people are going to follow those rules because of how
Yeah.
Denver is right now.
Well,
Because at the end
there's
of the
so
day,
many blatant criminals that won't follow it that
no, like I think most. Granted, I live in Douglas County, and most cops are sane. But I think most cops are gonna be understanding of
yeah.
if like they catch you or something. Now I could be completely wrong and you could be taken to jail. But I think like most people kind of realize how insane these democratic policies are here. Because at the end of the day, like if you have it stowed away, locked, and someone's attacking you, you're screwed pretty
Yeah.
much. Unless your car is locked and you gives you plenty of time to, which majority of the time, if someone's attacking you, especially if they have a gun, then like it's seconds. It's not minutes, you know?
Right.
It's seconds at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think, granted, like I said, I don't know if you need to have like an actual lock, but I mean, this has a locking mechanism, so I would think that this would be compliant to what you're saying for Colorado, where it would be
Yeah.
locked away technically.
I would have to look, yeah.
But they also have, I'm just again scrolling through the website, so I don't know everything about this company. I've seen them. I was looking at handguns like few years ago, and this company popped up and it was like, yeah, whatever. They keep having this buy one get one deal. Um, so you get two of them pretty much every time that I've ever looked at them, you get two of them. So for one price. But
Hmm.
anyways, it's padlock compatible, so it's got a way for you to actually like padlock it. So if you're
That's
like you're going away and you don't want to put it in a gun safe, you just want to have it in your safe, lock it, like actually padlock it with a key, take the key with you. There's that option. There's also it says it's security cable compatible, so you can. I was watching a video on it. You can have it to where you can take the security cable and like secure it to your nightstand or to
okay.
like the floor, not necessarily to the nightstand because like if somebody's like, okay, I really want all of this, they just take the nightstand and go. You know, if
Right.
somebody's trying to rob you, but you can take this security cable and like install it into your floor so that it like cannot be pulled up and out, and like your kids can't like take it and like go and be like, okay, I'm gonna go take it and grab some tools in the
Hmm.
garage and I'm gonna take it to the garage and pry it open or whatever. Which I don't even know if that would work, but like it's locked to your nightstand or to that area. So
Hmm.
pretty cool there. And then it's also
That's
TSA
cool.
compliant, so you can travel with it. And
Yeah.
TSA has a way that they can get in. I've never traveled with a firearm, so I don't know all the processes that you have to go through with that, but
I
TSA
have.
compliant. So it's I guess another way that
Yeah.
you can use it.
So when you do travel with a firearm, it's kind of funny. It all depends on who you get. Like whenever I've flown out of Denver, which I mean, I always fly out of Denver. Whenever I've flown out of Denver, it's honestly been the easiest process out of all the airports I've gone. So I've flown to Phoenix with my firearm, and I've flown to Philadelphia with my firearm. And Phoenix, I mean, when I was coming back, shit show. They had zero clue what to do. The lady was like scared. I'm like, good lord. I'm like, just can you just check my firearms and then put it in the back of my bag so I can get on my flight, please and thank you. It was dude, it was terrible. And I was like, and it's Phoenix too, super gun friendly state or city. So I think I just got a just a bad person, not a bad
Yeah.
person, but like a incompetent person for that, who had really no idea what she was doing. And then Philadelphia, I think they had it was a little different there. I said, hey, so essentially what the process is like you go up to the counter, be like, hey, I'm declaring a firearm, it's in my bag. And they said, okay, so you have to fill out the slip, sign it, and then they'll put it on top of your firearm. You can just take you'll usually just take your firearm out. Like in Philadelphia, I just took it out, opened it up. They saw it. They're like, okay, it's clear. Put it back, and then put it back in my bag. Make sure the ammo is in the same case it came from or same box it came from. It can't be like in magazines or anything like that, obviously. And then everything back in the bag, zip it up. I usually have a lock on my suitcase whenever I travel, so I always put the lock back on. And then in Philadelphia, they're like, all right, just wait here 15 minutes and you should be good. And I waited 15 minutes and I left. So it was good. In Philadelphia, Phoenix, it was a mess. Denver, so what they do at Denver, if you ever fly out of Denver and you have to check a firearm, declare it, obviously same thing, sign a slip, and then you don't show them the firearm. They have a guy escort you over to a separate TSA checkpoint for firearms. They throw it through a scanner, and then they're like, okay, you're good. And then the guy, whoever escorted you, takes your bag and puts it back whatever flight or airline you're with. So you don't touch it after that. They're like, okay, see you later. Then that's it. So it's
Interesting.
honest. So it just depends on where you're at. It's a pretty easy process. So here, I
Yeah.
actually got an example of some 9mm right here. Literally just carry this same exact box. This is 50 rounds right here
Yeah.
of 9mm. You just throw this in the bag. As long as it's secure, it's fine.
Right.
So
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole other thing is like if you're ever going to travel with it, with a firearm, like maybe more specifically a pistol, with this being TSA compliant, like, you know, I was intrigued by it just in the home safety, security sense of it, where, it's not child proof, but it's very child safe, almost child proof. Like, there's just a lot of boxes that it checks that, oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, I didn't think about that. That'd be great. That's awesome. Like, so many features to it that it's like, it'd be hard to tell myself not to buy this and go with something else because, like, it has so many great features. And if you ever travel with it, you can travel with it, airline, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, that's kind of my initial steps to the process is, safety and security first, and you know, keeping things locked away when you're not using them, having quick access when you do want them or need them, safe, protecting your stuff in the case of a fire or flood or whatever. Having a really good quality safe is really important. And so I think for me, like that's my first step, before I even purchase a new firearm is going to be, figuring out what safe I want. And I'm probably going to pull the trigger on this stop box
yeah,
probably within the next couple of paychecks. And,
nice.
you know, it's just that way I have it. I don't know how long this buy one get one free thing is going to last. So if I can get two for the price of one, and it's $170 and you get two of them, you know, what is it? It's 368. So it's like $370 if you, I guess, if you wait and buy buy them individually. $170 for two that are seemingly very safe and have all these great features. I'd say it's worth it. So
I'd say so too. I'll have to get one.
yeah, I think I'd say leading up to the gun purchase, stop box, safe, then firearm. is going to be kind of the order of operations for me. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on those things?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to. So I guess there's a car firearm safe that you could get for your center console, where it's locked. It's like if you open your center console, it's right there. The trigger's covered, but it's locked in there, and you essentially you put your hand like as you're trying to grab the firearm, put your hand on the handle, and then touch your thumb on this little scanner. It'll scan your thumb. If it's you, it'll unlock the gun.
Mm,
So I'd like to get one of those, especially with just how much there is with vehicle thefts here in Denver now.
yeah,
Obviously, I'm trying to not be in Denver as much as I can for
right.
sure. For baseball lessons right now, I have to be, and it's kind of a sketchy area in Lakewood. But I would eventually like to get something like that. I think it's like $400.
Yeah,
But the nice part with that, it's like it's still quick access. God forbid something happens,
yeah,
but it's still stored away, so no thief could like look in and be like firearm.
yeah. Not an easy
Yeah,
access for break-ins.
right. And like you'll see. Okay, here's another opinion of mine. I think like you see those backseat rifle holders or like on the
Yeah,
back of your seat or whatever, they hold your rifle and everything. I personally think that's the dumbest thing in the whole world to have.
yeah. Unless you're out, like you only have it in there when you're hunting and use it when you're
Right.
hunting or something like that.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. But when you drive
Otherwise,
around with it,
right.
like, dude, you're just asking for trouble at that point. And it's like the same thing when it comes to open carry here in Colorado. You
Yeah,
can't open carry in Denver County. Any other county, you're fine. But do you really want to open carry?
right.
No. Like
No,
we kind of spoke about this in a few episodes back. Like only time I open carry is if I'm in the mountains where I kind of have to because I want to get to my firearm just in case a mountain lion or a bear shows up and thinks I'm food.
yeah. No, it's funny you say that. I watch a lot of YouTube. Like that's my source of entertainment for
Yeah,
a lot of things.
same.
But I've watched guys that will there's this one guy, he does it all the time and he records himself and it's like I feel like he just does it just because he knows it's going to happen. But in the state of Florida, you can legally open carry any firearm as long as you're on your way to or from a hunting or fishing thing. And so like he carries around a fishing pole and this like full size AR. It's not like he just has this pistol, on like a chest carry. Like he has this like full size AR strapped over his shoulder and just walking in his flip-flops and carrying a fishing pole and like his tackle box. And people go down the road and call the cops on him because they're like, why does this guy have this freaking rifle and he's walking down the road? And so he gets cops to pull him over. He always has like a GoPro going, and like he says he's recording for fishing, I think, most of the time. But like almost all of his content is him getting stopped by cops and questioned, and like basically calling cops in Florida idiots for not knowing the laws. And it's like, okay, well, that's a oddly specific law that you just
Yeah,
happen to know and you exploit all the time. But yeah, like you said, it causes problems. When you open carry, somebody's going to call the cops because they think you're doing something malicious. I can't say I blame them.
they don't blame 'em.
If I honestly, if I saw somebody that wasn't military or police or whatever walking with an AR or something like that, I'd be like, I don't know what that person's up to. It's a little bit of a question mark there.
Right.
Yeah, open carry is like unless it becomes a point where everybody's doing it and you almost need to, something I'd probably like to avoid.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Like if like if we went somewhere in like Castle Rock and everyone's open carrying. Okay, that's different. Or in Denver, but you can't open carry. I don't know. Just concealment's the way to go. At least because no one knows.
Yeah. discreet, and the element of surprise too for safety wise, security. So people could see you and be like, "Oh, you're an easy target. I see that you have a weapon. I'm going to target you first. So I'll take you out first, so then I can get what I want." You know, avoid that. Oh, there's a lot of worst case scenarios that could come up from all of it, but yeah, I agree. I feel like being concealed is a better way to go.
100%.
But no, I think it'd be really interesting to see, in the comment section, if we get some comments, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening, throw some comments. Let us know what gun safes you recommend, don't recommend. I feel like those are a couple things that, at least to me, since I'm on the search, I'm gonna value it a lot. There's hundreds and thousands and millions of safes out there and brands, and so it's hard to find what's best, and you can always look at reviews and ratings and take that for what it's worth, but
Right.
firsthand experience is always best.
It is.
And you never know if somebody on YouTube is trustworthy, but we'll take your guys' word for it. So throw some comments down below and let us know what you guys think. And also, like Brooks and I were talking, like with vehicle concealed carry, vehicle safety with firearms. If you have any recommendations with that, if you guys
Mm.
have had stop box, if you own one, and whether you like it or not, let us know. So
Yep, please.
that's the call to action. Is leave some comments. Let us know what you guys think on these things.
Yes.
Yes.
Because this stuff's important at the end of the
Yeah.
day. So, and I mean, we're not experts on anything, but we understand safety is the number one priority when it comes to firearms.
Right, for sure. No doubt. So, well, Brooks, we covered a lot today.
We
Covered
did.
a lot of life stuff and some important stuff with firearms and stuff. So it was good.
It was good.
Good little episode there. So yeah, we'll have this episode posted probably Friday, and then we'll get another episode recorded for Monday and Friday of the next week. And then after that, I'm thinking we're going to start having our 3-episode weeks at least. My little series I have coming together is going to start here in a couple weeks. So be on the lookout for that.
That'll be good.
All right. Well, any closing thoughts, Brooks?
I don't think so.
I think we nailed it.
So,
all right, man. Well, good deal. Appreciate you guys listening. Like, comment, review, share, do all that good stuff, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Yeah, subscribe.
Always subscribe.
Catch you on the next one. See ya.
See you guys.